Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Covert podcast. I'm here today with Micah Sheffer.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm ready to go today.
How's your summer been?
It's been really good. I've been very, very busy. A lot of golf, a lot of football. Just trying to stay busy before I go to Purdue.
Yeah. You looking forward to senior year? What you have of it?
Oh, yeah. I didn't get experience, or I won't get experience senior year of basketball, which, it felt like it was last year because I knew going in that it was my last year. But I'm ready to look forward and get all the benefits of being a senior for football.
So I know a lot of people know what you're doing, like your plan for senior year and like what you're doing after that. But for those that don't know, just let them know.
So some of you don't know, but I'm going to Purdue to play golf. But before that, I'm going to graduate high school early, let me put it that way. And I'm going to play football, and then whenever the football season's done, I'm going to graduate. So our the state championship football game is Thanksgiving weekend. So no matter what, whether we go to state or we lose before, I'm going to school until Thanksgiving, and then whenever Thanksgiving is done, I'm going to head to Florida for 5 weeks. I'm going to go to IMG Academy for the first 3. I'm going to do no schooling there and just play golf, basically. It's called a week-long camp, but I'm going to just do 3 of them back to back to back so that I get to play golf from 8 to 12, 12 to 4, just eat, lift, get my game right since I've been focusing on football and other sports my whole life. So I'm going to try to get myself prepared for whenever I go to Purdue. And then the second 2 weeks I'm in Florida, I'm going to play in 2 or 3 golf tournaments, 2 for sure, maybe a third one, whether or not I can get in it. And then that'll take me to the end of December, and then we'll be back in town for a week. Hopefully I'll get to see a basketball game or something from Brownstown, and then I'm going to head to Purdue January 8th, early January, around there.
I gotcha. And you said you've been busy with golf this year, and you played in 10 Golf Week events. Is that right?
Yeah, probably. That sounds about right.
And you were named Golf Week Boys 16 through 19 age group player of the year.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. That was a big goal for me. So the Golf Week, it's a series of golf tournaments in the Midwest, which it's a pretty big series. And it starts in June and goes all the way till May. So I started last summer, and I knew going into it that was a goal for mine, was to be the player of the year. The way player of the year works is how you place in tournaments gives you points, and then more tournaments you play in, the more points you get. And so I played in 10 tournaments, like he said, had some good finishes, and then going into the final tournament of the year, it's called the Tour Championship, I was in the lead of points by a little bit, not a lot, but the person in second fired off a 67 the first day and then a 66 the second day. So he's leading the tournament by 4 strokes, and I think I was 3 under at the time. He was 9 under, and I finished my last round with a 69, and he shot 77 to put him 4 under. He might have shot 76, but I think I got second in that tournament, and getting second in that tournament allowed me to win Player of the Year. And, it just means a lot. All the hard work had paid off, knowing that it wasn't just a fluke one tournament out of the year that I win or something, that I consistently put up good scores. I think my scoring average...
72.1?
Yeah, 72.1 for the year. Is that what it finished at, or was that before the Tour Championship?
That's what it finished at.
Yeah, so, I was just glad that I could continue to play good golf throughout the year. It meant a lot.
Is that about where you want your average to be at? Not all things are 10 events, but...
Yeah, so the courses we play, they're tough courses, but we play them about 6,700 yards. So they're a little bit shorter than what a lot of the tournaments I play in outside of that. 72.1 it's not a bad scoring average at all. I'm very happy with it, but So I have a vision board at home, and my vision board, it was a 72.25 was my goal for my season average for last year. And I think I barely beat that. I think I was a 72.2, but I mean, a 72.1 is good, but I'd like to this year be able to get it down to in the 71. So that would be averaging under par.
You had 2 wins in those 10 events, and one of the wins, I think it was your last one, got you into the Golf Week Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Is that just building up from like your even when you were younger, or is it
A little bit. So actually, my last win on the Golf Week was in the new series. So it was after the Tour Championship. I won at Houston Woods, which is Miami of Ohio's golf course. But I had actually won the previous year there too. So I won at Houston Woods at the beginning of that series whenever I became the player of the year. And then I won at North Star, which is a great course in Ohio. It's one of my favorite courses to play. So there's 2 wins. And the criteria to get into the Hall of Fame is you have to have 4 wins from, I think it's the 16 to 19, or it can be 14 to 15 boys and 16 to 19 boys. But you have to have so many people in the tournament. I think it has to be like 20 people in the tournament. But all the wins that I've got were 70, 60 people fields. So I'm very happy with that. But that was a big goal of mine after I got Player of the Year. My next goal was to make it into the Hall of Fame. And I'd been close. I think I got second 2 or 3 times. And finally being able to win, I shot 67 on the final day. And it really meant a lot to me just being able to finally get another win. That was my first win of this year, getting a win under the belt. So hopefully we can have some more to come throughout the year.
And as you said, you're committed to Purdue for golf. What kind of played into that decision, choosing Purdue, and was it always like a dream of yours to be able to play Division I golf?
That was always my goal growing up, was to be able to play Division I golf. Ever since I was a little kid, that's what I always strived to do, was play Division I golf. Going into it, not this summer, but last summer, going into last summer, I had just been doing okay. The summer before that was not a very good summer for me. And so I knew I really had to work at it. I really worked at it that off season, that winter. And then I got into the year and I finally caught a little bit of a heater. I won at Miami of Ohio, like I said. I shot 72, 71. I think I shot 1 under and 1, which it's a good score, but usually 1 under doesn't win. But I finally caught my first break there to win. And then that kind of set the tone for the rest of the year. I then went to Florida and shot 3 under for 3 days. And then I went to North Star and shot 7 under for 2 days. And then I went to Penn State and shot 7 under for 2 days. And then I went to the Legends golf course and shot 3 under for 2 days. So my last 11 of 12 rounds of last year were under par, which was a huge accomplishment for me because going into the year, if I shot an under par round, that was a really, really, really good day. But I had to be able to turn my bad rounds into my bad rounds needed to be 73, 74, whereas they were going into the year, they were 78, 79. And that's not Division I caliber. So then going into it, I looked at some colleges. Whenever I went to Florida to play my golf tournament, I went on 3 visits to Lynn, Palm Beach Atlantic, and Kaiser. And I really loved those schools. Kaiser's one of the best golf schools in the NAI. I think they won the NAI championship this year for golf. And then Palm Beach Atlantic, whenever I went the year before, they had the individual national championship, the individual national champion for Division II. And then Lynn is a very, very nice school in Florida. It's in Boca Raton. That was a Division II as well. And my goal growing up too, it was to go Division I, but it was always go south. I always wanted to go south, play in Florida. That way in the wintertime I could get out and play whenever. But as you can tell, that didn't necessarily work out for me the best. But I then went on to a visit at Miami of Ohio, Toledo, and Purdue, and I knew that after those 3 visits, I was ready to commit, get it over with. And I was very, very happy with Purdue. I didn't really expect to get offered on my visit the first time there, but they gave me an offer, and I was ready to accept it. The facilities there are amazing. The coach is unbelievable, and it's a great school just in general. I love the culture there, and that's a big thing for me, especially playing football, playing basketball. Culture's a huge thing, especially at our school at Brownstown. Culture is very, very big. You're born into it. And I feel like that's kind of how it is at Purdue. You're not necessarily born into it, but you start as a freshman, and a lot of guys at Purdue stay at Purdue. As you know, Braden Smith, Trey Kaufman-Wren, Fletcher Lawyer, they all Trey Kaufman-Wren, I think, is a 3-year starter. The other 2 are 4-year starters at Purdue. So, I mean, you can tell there's a reason that some of the best guys in the NCAA stay there, and that's a big reason that I want to stay there too.
So obviously you haven't just had success in golf your whole life. You've been playing all kinds of sports from the time you could walk, probably. What drove you as a kid to just start playing sports and really dive into sports?
My dad was a huge influence on me. So the story about how I grew up playing golf was when I was real little, Dad would take me out as soon as I could walk. I'd tee off from the 100-yard marker, not when I walked, but when I was 3 and 4 at that point. They'd tee me off from the 100-yard marker, and I'd play the course from there. And when I got older, I'd go to the 150, 200. Then I played the ladies' tees, and now I'm playing all the way back.
Yeah.
But Dad is a huge factor in me playing all sports in general because he was our basketball coach for 6, 7,
long time.
8, 9, 10-year-olds. I think that's how long he was. And he always pushed me to play sports, which I'm very, very thankful for. I love sports. It creates a bond like no other. And, I mean, it's kind of just, I'm very glad to play sports. And I would always, no matter what, as a dad, try to push your kids to at least play one sport in their life.
Yeah. And you touched on culture at Brownstown, how you're, born into sports and you come up playing sports. What do you think makes Brownstown? Because we've had a lot of success in every sport, really, the past couple of years, and what does that show? Why play sports at Brownstown?
I think the coaching staff has to be a huge thing with it. We have 3 Hall of Fame coaches. Our basketball coach, our boys basketball coach is a Hall of Famer. Our girls volleyball coach is a Hall of Famer, and our football coach is a Hall of Fame coach. And then our girls basketball coach has won 6 sectionals in a row, which, that's a big feat, especially being from a small school like we are. But I think the coaching has to do a lot with it because they hold you to a standard that the other people before you have set, and you have to be held to that standard. And I feel like that's why our culture is so great, because a lot of people, too, our football team, our football coaching staff, a lot of it is Brownstown Central graduates. Mm-hmm. A lot of the basketball coaching staff is Brownstown Central graduates. It all feeds back into the system.
Yeah. So whenever you're older, and if you have a chance to ever come back to Brownstown and speak with, younger kids or even high schoolers, what advice would you want to give them on why you should play sports and at Brownstown and what it can do for them even after they get out of school?
My advice for the kids is time flies. I remember being 6 years old playing basketball in the Ox Gym. I remember looking up to all of the high schoolers. It's unbelievable now. Whenever I look at them, they're all 27, 28 years old. They're all having kids. Yeah. It's unbelievable. So that's, as a varsity person or a JV person in high school, I would say you set the standard for the little kids and help the little kids get better, because all of those kids look up to you. If I'm a younger kid, my advice to you would be start early, love it and grind it, live it. Mm-hmm. Big thing for me is hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. I know it's a generic saying, everybody says it, but a lot of people in this world aren't as gifted as some of the people listening. And if you have a gift and you work as hard as possible, you are going to thrive. Maybe it takes a few years for it to pay out, but it's going to pay out in the end if you work hard and strive to be the greatest that you can be. But then, on the other hand, if you're talented, a lot of guys talented, they don't work at it. Yeah. It's going to work for you till you're about 13 years old, 14 years old. And then whenever the 13 and 14-year-olds who've been working for 2-3 years, they're going to start to catch up to you, and it's going to start to hurt a lot. And then a big thing is attitude, effort, energy, and leadership. Those are 4 things that I would harp on as a younger generation, you want to lead by example. There's vocal leaders and there's people who lead by example. Both of them are needed to win championships. Vocal leaders call out people. They don't they criticize them, but then help them. They're the first one to give them high fives. They're the first one to tell them good job whenever they do a good job. But they're also, if you do that, then you can also be the first person to, hey, you need to step up your game, show up. If you don't want to be here, don't come. And I think that's a big thing with Brownstown is there's a bunch of good leaders, especially on our basketball team. Whenever we won the state championship, we had 2 4-year starters. We had a guy going to Purdue, and those guys led the team how a championship team should be led. And I would say to the little kids, and then attitude. I think attitude's a huge thing. Whenever you are, it's tough. When you're young kids, it's hard to, I wouldn't say it's hard to, but a lot of the times your parents want you to be there more than you want to be there yourself. But whenever you get into high school, you have to show up with a great attitude. Whether you got 4 hours of sleep, you're sick, you're hurting, you got to show up with the mentality to get better every single day and hold yourself in attitude. You got to hold yourself to high standards as well.
Yeah, because whenever you get to high school, like growing up, your parents can always have a say in something. If they don't like the way you're getting coached, they can say something. Once you get to high school, you're on your own pretty much. You got to be a man or a woman and just take it to the chest.
I agree.
You have been very successful at Brownstown. You're a 4.0 student, is that right?
I was. I'm a 3.98 now, unweighted.
And then you have, 6 conference titles?
4, 6.
3 in basketball. We won
3 in basketball.
2 in football, 5.
2 in football, and then 2 in golf, I think.
So 7.
7, I think.
And then you got 4 sectional titles.
Yep.
3 regional titles.
Mm-hmm.
A semi-state and a state.
Yep.
What is that like? Beyond those accomplishments, what legacy do you hope to leave at Brownstown as an athlete and a person?
I hope to, whenever somebody sees me in the building, I hope that I'm not just remembered by my ability to play sports. I hope I'm remembered as a person who showed up with a great mentality every day, who strived to help people get better. I hope to be remembered as somebody who's nice. A big thing for me is I understood when I was little, I looked up to kids. So I want to always give back to the younger kids. I always want to help them out. If they have questions, I want them to see me, not as a hero or a god, but I want them to see me as somebody that they can come to and talk to, and if they need something, that they can come talk to me.
Yeah. You obviously won state sophomore year basketball. What was not different, but what just from that team, what are the best memories you had, even some of the worst times? Like, what are the worst times that year? And then, obviously, we came out on top, so there's probably some pretty good memories there.
Yeah. Well, winning the state championship's the best memory. Nothing in this world, well, I can't say that yet because I haven't been married or had kids. But up until this point in my life, that's the most, it was a weight lifted off my chest, but it was the greatest feeling that I've ever had. Whenever you work so hard for something for so long in your life, I played basketball for 10, 11 years, and that's what my goal every single day as a kid was: win a state championship. And then being able to live my dreams out, it meant the world to me. Being able to be on the basketball floor, get vital minutes in the game, hit some big shots, and then the biggest thing was being able to put on that state championship medal, ride the fire trucks, be able to, whenever we come back to school, when everybody's in the building, being able for everybody to just be happy, because there's been many, many times that, I've played 10 seasons and only one's ended in a victory.
Yeah.
All the others have ended in losses because now that I've felt some heartbreaking losses, being able to get that win just feels so incredible, and it's worth every single second that you put into it.
And that year you had a pretty serious back injury earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
What was that about?
So we were at the Hall of Fame Classic, and it was just a freak accident. I dove on the ground for a ball and took a knee to the back, and I had a compression lumbar fracture on my L2 and my L3, which a spine is like the circle with the little tips on the side, and I broke 3 of those in my back. So I was out for 6 weeks, or I was supposed to be out for 6 weeks. I came back in 3. I probably came back a little early, but that was a lot of adversity that I faced. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. A lot of people probably don't want to hear this, but getting a week off basketball is nice.
Yeah.
Because you play basketball from October to March, and it's so much every single day. And then when I got injured, I was not excited at all. I mean, I wanted to be out there on the floor. I wanted to be playing. But a week off is always good. But then whenever you're there and your back's hurting, but you're like, I think I can play. I think I can play. And you're just out there. Then the next 2 weeks after that, I'm sitting there having to watch practice. And I'm wanting to be out there so bad, but I physically can't. It was tough on me. Like, I really struggled through that. But a big thing that I would tell other people, though, is if you get injured, you still should be a vital part of the team. You should be out there leading the team. You can verbally communicate to them, lead them, tell them what they're doing wrong. Even though you necessarily can't be on the floor, you should be a coach, because at that point you're not playing, but all the coaches aren't playing. Yeah. So you should be just as vital to the team when you're not on the floor as when you are on the floor.
In your life and in sports, because for you those kind of go hand in hand, who's like been your greatest influence, not only like family or friend, but even just like someone you don't even know that pushes you every day to be your best?
I would say my dad has pushed me beyond limits. I would give all props to him. He comes with me to all my golf tournaments. I don't think he's ever missed a basketball game. He hasn't missed a football game. Like, he's there for everything no matter what. So I would say thank you to my dad. He's done everything for me. But if it's not family or friend related, my number one go-to would be Kobe Bryant. That his mindset on how he approaches life, how he approaches the game, is exactly with how the same mindset that I am. I like to wake up early. I like to get after it.
Yeah.
I know that when people are sleeping, that's the time to be working.
Yeah.
And so whenever I listen to him, you listen to him talk about all his greatest achievements, or something that is really spoke to me is when he tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
He said when the game is more important to you than the injury, that's when you can play. And that's kind of how I approach life, is whenever you're tired, you're sick, you're injured, you're hurting just a little bit, you're sore, just get up. The team needs you. Yeah. Step up and just be the grown man that you are. When something's more important to you than the injury, that's whenever you'll be able to play through it and succeed through it.
Yeah. Even before high school, what are kind of your favorite memories from sports? Because you played baseball, basketball, golf, football.
That's a good one. One of my favorite memories is definitely we went undefeated my 8th grade year in football. That's a big memory. I love football. There's nothing else like it in the entire world. I've played all the sports. Nothing will ever beat a bond like football.
Yeah.
There's 11 guys, no matter the size, no matter how big, small. I mean, everybody's on the team to achieve one goal, and every other person, there's 11 guys on the field. If 10 guys do something right and one guy does something wrong, it's going to show.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing for me, is going undefeated. And then basketball up until that would probably be maybe beating Jeff. We beat Jeff. That was so much fun. We went into overtime at Silver Creek. We beat Jeff. That was such a good memory. It wasn't nearly as close to winning a state championship, but at that point, all the hard work had finally paid off for that big game that he stepped up, and we won that game. Baseball would definitely be, we won 2 state championships.
Yep.
It was a rec league and then a travel ball circuit state championship, which were huge. I love playing baseball. It was so much fun, but at some point I just had to give it up to focus on golf. But that was definitely a lot of fun, especially because a lot of those guys are on the football team. There are a lot of them were on the basketball team. We're a close group or close knit bunch of guys. So winning the 2 state championships in baseball would be a big thing. And then golf would probably be, I would say Costa Rica. I went to Costa Rica and won a big tournament there, and it was so much fun getting to travel outside of the world, or not the world, but out of the United States, and getting to experience different cultures, especially when I was 12 and 13 years old. You don't understand what it's like to be out of the United States. So getting to go out there and then winning a golf tournament was so much fun. And then I'd also say we go to California and Las Vegas every year when I was little growing up, and I played 2 golf tournaments, and that was so much fun. Just getting to see the culture there, just being somewhere different, somewhere on the beach, just getting to play golf. Those are some of the greatest memories that I have growing up.
I think that shows also how big sports are, the community is in Brownstown. Even when we won state in baseball those 2 times, it was the same summer, and we were probably 11, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe even younger.
I'd probably been 5th grade, 4th grade.
But even then, we came back, and there was people sitting outside on their porch. We rode the fire trucks for an 11U baseball team that won state. And nothing will ever be like when we came back from basketball. Mm-hmm. That's probably the most packed I've ever seen the high school parking lots.
100%.
Especially on a Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, a big thing, too, that shows our culture is, like you said, everybody's sitting outside on the front porches, waving at the fire trucks, the basketball state championship. Everybody's in their cars honking. We're just having a great time. And I think our fans and our community is a big part of what I was talking about earlier with our culture is a lot of people stay around, and a lot of people in a small town, their thing on a Friday night is to go to a football game. The thing on a Friday night during basketball season is to go to a basketball game. Yep. That's a big thing for our community. So being able to put on for the city is what they'd say it's just a great feeling.
Yeah. So are there any other, you already said thanks to your dad, but are there any other thank yous you want to give out to people who have helped you out on the way? And
I mean, I'd love to thank my mom, too. My mom's a great influence for me. She's very supportive. That's a big thing for her. She knows a little bit about basketball, a little bit about golf, not much about football. But she's always there. She's always supportive. She's always texting me saying, hey, how'd you do? Or keep your head up.
Yeah.
She's always there for me. And then, I'd just like to thank all my teammates throughout the years, all my friends that I've been with. They've really built me as a person. They've molded my character into what it should be. And I'd also like to give a big thanks to I feel like these people don't get enough appreciation, but when you look back at them, it's the teachers.
Yeah.
Teachers make or break your school experience. You have good teachers. They mold you into correct people. Whenever you're under 18, your brain isn't fully developed, and they're developing you into the correct person that you should be because you're with them 7 hours a day, 5 days a week for 180 days. They have a lot of impressions on you. So whenever they mold you into the right person, they hold you accountable, they make sure you do your assignments, but then they also bring a great attitude. That's a huge thing that I think for teachers is when you bring a great attitude, the students bring a great attitude. Whenever you're, I don't want to be here today, it's another day of work. That's you can't bring that attitude because whenever you do that, it rubs off on other people, especially as leaders. Like I was saying earlier, whenever you are a leader of the team, everybody looks up to you. When you bring a great attitude, the team brings a great attitude. Whenever you don't bring a great attitude, that's whenever your practice is bad and you wasted a day.
All right, it's football season officially, pretty much.
It is. I'm ready.
What can people look forward to seeing this year on the football field? Expectations, goals.
Our goal stays the same every year I'll go through our goals for you for the football season. Our first goal of the year is to win the county rival, to beat Seymour. Second goal is to have a winning season. The third goal is to win conference. The fourth goal is to win sectionals, 5th is regional, 6th is semi-state, and 7th is state. But in Brownstown history, we've never had a semi-state or state champs. So, I mean, I'd like to be able to bring that for the first time in football history like we did for basketball.
You guys got a lot of experience coming back, don't you?
Yes, we have a bunch. We have 19 seniors, 21 freshmen, probably 12 and 13 sophomores and juniors, like 12 or 13 sophomores and 12, 13 juniors. But 19 seniors goes a long way. You don't understand as a freshman how vital it is to stay together as a class. And then being able to have experience, there's a lot of us that are 3-year starters on the team. That's huge for a team because not only do you get experience for the more you play, you get experience of losing. You get experience of sophomore year losing to Triton Central in sectionals. That never leaves. I will never forget being on that field looking at the scoreboard, and I was just sitting there like, I gave it my all, but my all wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And then junior year last year, we had this regional game won, and we blew the lead. So I think that's a huge motivator for this year is because a lot of our guys on that team, we only had 6 seniors last year. So a lot of us was juniors last year that are playing this year. That's a huge motivation for us all off season going into the season is whenever we're having a bad day or we don't want to be there, we just think about our regional game. We have posters of the scoreboard all over the locker room. There's probably 10 posters in the locker room of the scoreboard. And it just reminds us to get better every day. I mean, it's as simple as that. Whenever you show up, get better that day. If you got better that day, then it was a successful day.
Yeah. So I just want to thank Micah for coming on the podcast. It's been a long work in progress.
It has.
We've been in communications for a while. So I appreciate you coming on and look forward to seeing what you do this year on the football field and also whenever you head up to Purdue for golf.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. It means a lot. I'm glad to be here.
Yep. Thank you guys for listening and see ya.